How powerful is Aladdin from the anime series Magi? Aladdin is easily the most powerful magician to come out of the world of Magi, and it's not even close. Because not only is he a Magi, a being that is loved by the Rook and can pretty much create an infinite or inexhaustible amount of Magoi energy or magical energy in order to create all kinds of different spells, is the son of King Solomon and Queen Sheba, who ruled over Amotaran, the world that existed before the current world of Magi. Remember how I said in my other videos that there are 8 types of magical power, and Aladdin has at least around 3 or 4 of them, before he ended up getting just about every other magical power in the series when he used Solomon's wisdom to learn all the magic from this world and the world of Amotaran. However, going off what we've seen in the series, he knows fire, water, light, lightning, sound, as well as strength magic. With a demonstration of his fire magic, it was said that the output that he had would have killed a normal magician because of just how much magical power he was using. But since he is a Magi, he could pull from the Rook around him instead of the Rook inside of him to gain just about infinite or an inexhaustible amount of magical energy. He has created giants of pure flame to melt Judar's ice magic. He has an automatic light shield that can block giant attacks from dark djinns. And even though it broke later on, trust me, it gets a lot stronger as the series goes on. Even if he's unaware of an attack that's coming towards him, his shield would activate automatically because the Rook wants to protect him. He can also concentrate his shield to focus more of his defensive powers on a single spot, being able to block an attack from Mu Alexius in his Genie-equipped form. This was impressive because that same attack pierced through a country-sized shield that was being powered by multiple extremely powerful magicians. The Borg protects him from magical energy, physical attacks, and even protects him from mind hacks as well, so trying to mind control Aladdin won't work either. His Borg was even able to take an attack from an Amp Judar that was taking in the entirety of all of these Black Rook, which is like the complete opposite of what Right Rook is. It's from those who go against fate and destiny, and it was an entire country's worth of dark magical energy that Judar was putting into all of his attacks. Even while holding back, Aladdin and another Magi level magician, Titus, were going toe to toe with all of them being able to react to and move faster than the speed of light. Aladdin's even able to use his staff and sound magic to vibrate his staff to the point where he is able to pulverize things just by touching them. And he used this to break the shield of another Magi level magician, Titus. He also used gravity magic to not only fly but manipulate sand into creating 2 giant sand golems that he can focus his magic through, and even use fire magic through these giants. And the fire he channeled into these giants was powerful enough to reach all the way into the coastline from the middle of the country. However, Aladdin's bread and butter is called strength magic. It is the same magic his father used in order to rewrite and manipulate the laws of physics, gravity, acceleration, like all of this stuff. He mainly used it to reflect attacks, as well as being able to send people like extremely far away, which I'll show you later. Here we see that he launched Judar with a punch from one of his sand golems. However, the punch was so fierce that the force that it applied to Judar, Aladdin was able to use his manipulation of physics in order to keep that fixed force on Judar, so he would consistently be hit with that force until the end of eternity. And it got to the point where Judar was pushed off of the planet itself and into another dimension. This magical spell was so potent that even if you were to kill Aladdin, it would not stop the spell from happening. It wouldn't dispel it. It would just keep going forever and ever. Now, after the time skip, Aladdin was able to do so much more with his physical manipulation, being able to hold extreme magics like Almond der Psyche, which is pretty much Almond's ultimate magic or extreme magic that Alibaba has. And not only that, when Al Tharman, who was another group that was led by another person named Arba, who used to live in the same world as King Solomon, she fired off 4 levels of extreme magic at Aladdin. Each of these are able to destroy a country. And with the flick of his finger, Aladdin managed to combine them all and just flick them all away. Just to casually react to Arba, who effortlessly moves at FTL speeds. His magic could control the physiology of other people, being able to hold back or detain Morgiana's true red lion form when she was in the presence of the other Finalists. To get Arba's consciousness or soul out of Hakuryu's sister, Aladdin pretty much grabbed her arms and remade her entire body instantly so that she was no longer one of the daughters of Hakuryu's mother. Why this is significant is because Arba inhabited the body of Hakuryu's mother, and whoever she gave birth to, she would be able to control their bodies. Aladdin pretty much made it so that that wasn't the same body anymore. And this took around 1 million individual orders for him to do this. And he did this instantly. Another ability that Aladdin has is called the Wisdom of Solomon. It allows him to gain access to people's memories, to bring back the dead for a short amount of time, as well as being able to learn all the magical abilities of the world that he lives in now and the world of Amaterasu, making him one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful magic user or Magi to ever exist. When Sinbad became the god of the world after he usurped Ugo in the Sacred Palace, he managed to pretty much alter fate and reality so that everybody was in support of pretty much unaliving themselves to give Sinbad more power. However, it did not work on Alibaba or Aladdin, Judar or Hakuryu. So they are pretty much immune to fate manipulation. And his Borg got so powerful that he was able to cover this vast amount of area and then give his Borg Hydra heads and said that there is nobody who will be able to get past it. Not Sinbad, not Arba, or anybody else in the world. And it's even stated that Aladdin had really mastered all the world's magic, from old and new. One of the most impressive uses of his Borg was that Aladdin managed to create an entire barrier spanning the country line of Heliohat. Look in the low left-hand corner, that is Heliohat. It is right next to the continent of darkness, which is so vast that it's said to take 40 years to walk from one side of it to the other side. If you put that in perspective on Earth, just that continent alone would take up all of the available mass or all of the available area on our planet. Aladdin was truly an absolute menace when it came to his magical abilities, and if he wasn't such a pacifist, Aladdin would be downright monstrous in the battlefield.